Got one?
So, yes, your description of God.
Yes.
Mine is everything and everywhere but not me. But you didn't give a sort of a description.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just all-encompassing everything, but not. You didn't give a description. You give a description.
Can I give a description of
Yes.
God? And there are a lot of New Age philosophies, that talk about God being everywhere and in everything automatically. There's also a lot of religious concepts of God that are obviously also sometimes quite damaging in their belief structure. So one of the things that you'll do on the Divine Love path is you'll only be able to get to know God as you receive God's love into your soul. So although I can make comments about God's qualities and attributes, which I can do now, bear in mind that you're not going to feel those qualities and attributes until you actually feel God, till God's love enters you. But God is an entity, not an energy, not just an energy. So you know how a lot of people say that God is the energy of the universe, or the entire universe is God. And my viewpoint is that the universe was created by God, not God itself. So the universe is an attribute or a quality of God, but doesn't make it God. Just like love is a quality of God, but God is not just love. God is much more than just love, in fact. So God has all these attributes and qualities that are a part of what I would classify as her great oversoul. She is the great oversoul of the universe. She created all the laws that create all of the potentials in the universe itself. And so she has the power to desire something, and at the instant she desires, it comes into existence. So God is also personal God. Once you enter a personal relationship with God, you start realising that God is your mother or your father. And you can actually enter this personal relationship with God. Now, if God was just an energy, how do you enter a personal relationship with an energy? It's a bit more difficult, isn't it? It's a bit like saying, that I've got a personal relationship with the electricity here, because that's an energy, right? You can't really have a person-to-person relationship, can you, with just an energy form? Now, God does have energy, just like you have energy. In your Alpha courses, you started recognising some of the energies of your own body, some of the energies of your own soul, and you started to tune in even, remember when you did the scanning exercises and so forth, you started to tune into the energies of other people. And you could see where their energies were blocked in their body and what was actually going on inside of their body. So the truth is that you have energy, but energy is not you. Energy is just an attribute or a quality that you have, that you can actually utilise to examine and experience the universe. The same is true for God. God has energy, and one of her energies is love, but she also has other energies as well. She has a creative energy. She also has an energy of life. So there'll be times in your future where you will actually create or manifest an animal, but it won't have life until God's energy, God's life-giving energy, enters that animal. And then you'll be able to create that animal and it will become to life.
When does that happen?
When you're at one with God, you can do these things. So when all of you get to that stage, you'll be starting to do these things and seeing these things happening here on earth. At the moment, they're all happening in the spirit world in different locations, but not happening here on earth because no one's ever been in the condition to actually do it.
Is it likely that someone's going to be in that condition?
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's fairly likely that you might be. So it's not as hard as what people have a tendency to believe. And it doesn't take, you know how there's this New Age belief that it takes lifetime upon lifetime to become a refined being or an enlightened being. That's not true at all. It only needs to take, in fact, a few years for you to work through some very sincere emotions before you can be into that state, once you receive divine love into the soul. So